Hello everyone, Bob here, once again filling in for TGR. Gobblegums have become a staple of Black Ops 3 zombies, becoming so iconic to the mode that their return for Black Ops 6 and 7 was used as marketing for those games. But their journey from early concept to the final system we know today involved tons of changes, from names and mechanics to how players earned and used them. Thanks to some leaked developer documents, we can now trace that evolution step by step, starting way back in the ideation phase. These files reveal how Treyarch experimented with ideas to keep the endgame exciting, how the concept shifted through different names and currencies, and even some technical details on implementation. We'll cover the origins as bottle cap boosts, the pivot to bubblegum buffs, and touch on the art and DLC plans before we get to the final Gobblegum form. Then we'll dive into post-launch metrics showing low engagement, the proposed fixes, and how those rolled out in updates like the big March 2016 patch. All that and more in this cut content deep dive, so stay tuned. Let's kick things off with the earliest version of this idea, found in a PowerPoint file called ZM_bottlecap_boosts. This document lays out a new mechanic meant to spice up the late rounds in zombies, especially once players have all their perks, upgraded weapons, and the map fully opened. The devs noted that on maps like Doris, things could get repetitive as early as rounds 12 to 15, so they wanted something to prevent that grind from setting in. Their solution focused on a repeatable risk-reward system that fit the zombies universe. It had to offer desirable benefits, be temporary with some randomness, and include uncertainty in a way players could grasp. Enter bottle cap boosts. Simpler buffs than full perks, either passive or activated, with limits based on time, rounds, events, or activations. Each one got a fun name and symbol, much like perks, and players earned them by leveling up or completing challenges. In the front-end menu, called Create a Zombie Killer, you'd pick 5 from your collection to bring into the game. Everyone started with 5 unlocks, so slots were always full. To keep players chasing more, extra bottle cap boosts unlocked at ranks, through challenges, in DLC, or even microtransactions. Each boost showed its name, icon, description, limit, and cost in a new currency, bottle caps. Players earned bottle caps by finishing rounds, side quests, which, again, as a reminder, when Treyarch says side quest in any of this BO3 documentation, they mean the main Easter egg quest, or co-op actions like revives, with ideas for double bottle cap weekends to boost engagement. The document lists several examples to show the variety. Pocket Protected was a passive for 3 rounds at 2 bottle caps, letting you hold 1 extra of each grenade type and mine. Only a Flesh Wound sped up health regen a bit faster for 3 rounds at 2 bottle caps. Coagulant extended bleed out time for 1 round at 4 bottle caps. I'm Feeling Lucky spawned a random power up with 1 activation for 1 bottle cap. Impatient let you respawn sooner, when the last zombie spawned instead of next round start, lasting until bleed out at 5 bottle caps. In-game, you'd use a bottle cap boost synthesizer once per round, which cycled through your 5 picks like the mystery box. It would land on one, prompt you to buy it with bottle caps within a time limit, or it vanish. If bought, a quick animation played, and passives kicked in right away while activated ones waited for a down D-pad press. After that, synthesizers locked for the rest of the round, and the used boost grayed out from your list until all 5 were cycled through, then reset like power-ups. This added risk since you couldn't pick exactly what you got each time, forcing adaptation. Other examples included In Plain Sight for 30 seconds of zombie ignorance at 3 bottle caps, Danger Closest for 0 explosive damage over 3 rounds at 2, Always Prepared to cut prep time on offhand items for 3 rounds at 1, Night Stalker to walk faster in ADS for 2 rounds at 2, and Always Done Swiftly for quicker ADS transitions over 2 rounds at 2. The pitch wraps with questions, and there are mentions of images likely showing mock-ups, but the core idea shines through as a way to extend replayability with light RNG and choice. From there, the concept evolved into bubblegum buffs, as detailed in a technical design document called ZM_bubblegum_buffs_TDD. This version kept the loadout system where players select exactly 5 and create a class, grabbing them in-game from a bubblegum buff machine at most once per round. Buffs stayed as passive or activated abilities, but now tied into a machine for interaction. This shift likely stemmed from a desire to make the mechanic feel more immersive and tied to the map's environment, moving away from the abstract synthesizer to something tangible like a gumball dispenser that players could interact with physically in the world. Treyarch probably saw this as a way to add visual flair and audio cues, enhancing the zombies' atmosphere while simplifying the risk-reward loop by ditching the in-game currency grind for bottle caps, which might have felt too separate from the core progression. Another file, zm_bubblegum_buff_art_scheme, explains the visual style for these buffs, both in 2D icons and 3D models. The base color of each gumball was chosen to quickly communicate its duration type at a glance, drawing from candy themes to fit the bubblegum motif while adding player decision-making. Purple signaled activated buffs that players triggered manually for on-demand effects, completely in player control. Red marked event or trigger-based ones that activated automatically under specific conditions, like when downed or when purchasing something. Yellow denoted round-limited buffs that lasted a set number of waves, perhaps inspired by caution signs to remind players of the ticking progression. Green indicated time-based effects that ran on a clock, for gums like Coagulant. On top of that, patterns distinguished rarity to build excitement around unlocks and help further distinguish functionality. Regular gums stayed plain for simplicity, while megas added speckles for a textured premium feel. Rare megas upgraded to shiny gold and silver speckles to convey value and sparkle, and ultra-rare ones featured swirls for a hypnotic and standout effect. Finally, each gum had a stamped icon in limited colors, mimicking real-world novelty gumballs to represent the buff's function, like a zombie and a headlight for fear in headlights, making them collectible and memorable. Examples here in the documents included rough sketches, showing how they'd pop visually and tie into the playful yet eerie zombies aesthetic. Then we have the ZM Bubblegum Buffs DLC list spreadsheet, packed with ideas across types like rare, mega, ultra, and whimsical. It notes legal approvals on names and icons, with greens cleared fully and yellows for in-game only. Many tie into DLC timing for planned releases, from 1 to 5, showing they were already planning Zombies Chronicles here, which makes sense given the cut Black Ops 2 Zombies Chronicles DLC they had already finished but didn't get to release for that game. Starting examples of gums they have here, along with their color and texture. Undead Man Walking, rare, green, peppermint, slows all zombies to walk for 4 minutes. Crawl Space, mega, purple speckled, turns nearby zombies to crawlers 5 times. Head Drama, ultra, blue swirl, makes all bullet damage headshots for the round. Fatal Contraption, mega, purple speckled, drops a minigun power-up twice. Temporal Gift, rare, blue peppermint, extends power-up timers by 30 seconds for 1 round. Finally, the ZM Bubblegum Buffs recipe builder spreadsheet seems to handle costs and recipes, with rarity modifiers, ingredient values, and totals. It lists internal names like ZM-BGB Aftertaste at Rarity 1 with a 1.2 modifier for a recipe cost of 12, and many more like Burned Out at 8, Cashback at 31, up to ultras like Perkaholic at 65. Each one has columns for ingredients and counts, although many show as single items, hinting at a crafting or balancing system that might have been cut or evolved, one that likely became the basis for Newton's cookbook in the later game, where players mix elements for custom effects. As development progressed, the name Bubblegum Buff ran into issues during the legal review process. The team had to pivot away from it, landing on the legal-approved alternative, Gobblegum, as the final name to avoid any clearance problems. Similarly, the currency vials shifted to Liquid Divinium to fit the new branding. This change helped tie the system more seamlessly into the zombies' lore, with Dr. Monty's factory becoming the hub for spinning for new gums using earned or purchased Divinium. The decisions here probably aimed to dodge trademark conflicts while leaning into a more whimsical, lore-friendly identity. Gobblegum evokes fun, arcade-style consumption, and Divinium adds a mystical element that aligns with the series' escalating supernatural themes, and gives Element 115 a more fun and quick-to-say name, even if it didn't quite stick. Once Black Ops 3 launched on November 2015, Treyarch kept a close eye on how players interacted with Gobblegums. Internal documents like BO3ZM-GBG engagement reveal some key insights into early metrics. The challenge boiled down to boosting overall engagement, with notable pain points including Gobblegums being tough to obtain in-game, the machine feeling unpredictable with its rotating locations, the system not supporting frequent use, front-end UI lacking strong hooks to draw players back, and rare or ultra-rare gums dropping way too infrequently. These factors led to lower than expected usage rates, prompting the team to brainstorm fixes. This post-launch analysis suggests Treyarch underestimated how the initial randomness and scarcity discouraged casual play, shifting focus towards accessibility to retain players longer. A related spec document, BO3ZM Gum Engagement Improvements from late February 2016, outlines a slew of UI and UX tweaks aimed at addressing those metrics. The goals focused on making Gobblegums easier to grab in matches, machines more reliable, and the factory flow smoother to cut down on player drop-offs. Key proposals included letting players set the exact order their 5-pack dispensed from the machine, left to right becoming first to last, with highlights explaining the sequence in the Customize menu. The pause menu would show your current pack for quick reference without leaving the game. The factory menu option would display your liquid divinium count up front with an animated icon if you had any to catch your eye. If you ran out during a spin, a pop-up would link directly to buy more. Players could also destroy duplicates of the same gum to recycle them for 1 divinium each, giving a way to clear inventory and earn back currency. These ideas fed into the major version 1.08 update on March 21, 2016, which rolled out several engagement boosts. All Gobblegum machines on a map activated at once instead of rotating, making them predictable and accessible from everywhere. You could now hit the machine multiple times per round as well, upping frequency. Liquid divinium drop rates got a bump to help players spin more often in the factory. Later, with the Zombies Chronicles DLC in May 2017, they made the first Gobblegum per round free, with costs scaling by round for subsequent hits, like 1,500 and then 3,000 in early rounds, ramping up to over 1 million in the hundreds. This capped at 3 uses per round, with fire sales slashing costs by 490 points for quick grabs. These tweaks directly tackled the low usage data, encouraging more experimentation and integration into strategies. The iterative changes here reflect a data-driven approach, where Treyarch tested assumptions about player behavior and adjusted to make the feature more integral, likely to maximize both fun and revenue from microtransactions. Fast forward to Black Ops 6 in 2024, and Gobblegums made a triumphant return, clearly building on the lessons from those Black Ops 3 post-launch patches. Machines now dispense a gum every 10 seconds for free, no longer consuming it instantly, instead adding it to an inventory of up to 3 that players activate whenever they choose, even mixing from multiple packs. You can build up to 5 packs and loadouts, switch mid-game, and spawn with the first 3 from your selected one. Rarity colors align with the game's system: rare, epic, legendary, ultra, whimsical, while patterns show activation types: white swirls for instant, speckled rainbow for conditional, blank for timed. Quantities are limited, but only deduct on use, with drops during play, progression rewards, event packs, main quest completions guaranteeing ultras, and store options with packs you can purchase rather than purchasing a currency like liquid divinium. The machine got a Mr. Peaks theme thanks to Dr. Monty's exit from the storyline, and effects range from classics like Perkaholic giving all perks to new ones like Time Out clearing the round for 3 minutes. Black Ops 7 in 2025 keeps it nearly identical but adds crushing gums for essence based on rarity, carrying forward all prior gums. Those Black Ops 3 fixes, predictable access, higher frequency, inventory control, and recycling, directly inform this more player-friendly setup, turning early engagement woes into a seamless strategic tool. Black Ops 6 launched with Gobblegums that felt familiar yet still carried echoes of the old frustrations we mentioned earlier. Players complained about waiting for the machine to dispense and only getting 1 gum at a time early on. A major patch arrived within weeks. Treyarch changed the system so that every player spawns into a match holding the first 3 gums from their selected pack, no more running to the dispenser in the opening rounds just to access your loadout. The machine cooldown shrank dramatically. The original forced wait between spins became almost non-existent. You can now activate a gum, free up a slot, and hit the machine again without meaningful delay. These adjustments line up directly with the low engagement factors listed in the 2016 Black Ops 3 documents. The same core problems likely appeared. Acquisition felt slow, machine access stayed untenable in practice, and overall usage lagged behind what Treyarch would want. Internal data clearly showed players skipping the feature for the same reasons they did a decade earlier. Treyarch responded with the exact playbook that worked before: guarantee immediate access to your chosen tools and remove every barrier to frequent spins. The studio proved the original analytics remain timeless. When the numbers flag the same issues, the same fixes stay proven. Gobblegum design always placed monetization at the center of every decision, and Treyarch have often looked to trends in the industry for maximized profits. Black Ops 3 built a 2-step revenue wall. Players purchased liquid divinium packs with real money, and then spent the premium currency on randomized spins inside Dr. Monty's factory. The gambling aspect copied the loot box craze that dominated 2015. Divinium bundle sizes never matched spin costs perfectly. You often bought more vials than needed for a single session and carried leftover currency forward. The model mirrored older industry tactics like Microsoft points on Xbox Live. Publishers forced overpurchase through awkward pricing offsets, This would then not only make you buy more than needed, but also leave you with leftover currency to tempt you into a future purchase. Black Ops 6 and 7 dropped the intermediate currency entirely. Gums now sell directly through the in-game store. They appear bundled with weapon blueprints, operator skins, and calling cards. Limited time packs arrive on timers and disappear once the timer ends. Temporary availability drives urgency through fear of missing out or FOMO store design. Players see a curated list of powerful ultras and feel pressure to buy it before the window closes. Progression still rewards Gums through prestige, events, and quest completions, but the paid path, however, follows modern live service storefront rules. Tie desirable items to cosmetics, rotate stock weekly, and lean on fear of missing out. Treyarch updates the cash flow to match current trends while keeping the strategic depth intact. The Gums remain useful in-game tools, the purchase model evolves with whatever technique extracts wallets most efficiently that year. All this early stuff shows how Treyarch iterated on keeping zombies fresh, starting with bottle caps and synthesizers before bubbling into buffs with machines and visuals, then solidifying as Gobblegums with post-launch polishes based on real player behavior. What do you think of these origins? Would bottle cap boosts have fit better, or was the gum theme a win? Let me know in the comments, and subscribe for more zombie secrets. I'll hand it back over to TGR for the outro.
To conclude this video, I want to shout out the fact that I finally decided to make a Patreon and Cameo account, both of which will be linked below if you want to help support the channel. On Patreon, you can sign up for the lowest tier of just $1.50 a month to get exclusive access for my Discord, where we can discuss the zombies lore, trivia, or whatever you desire. A place where you lot, my community, can better connect. Your names will also appear at the end of videos thanking you. For $5.50 a month, you get all of that, and I will be doing exclusive monthly Q&As. And for $16.50 a month, you again get all of that, and I will be doing exclusive lore videos, such as unpacking niche parts of the Treyarch documents I've been breaking down on my channel that don't as much suit a main channel video. For the highest tier, only for those with the ability to and who really want to help out the channel, you get special bonuses I've yet to determine and verbal shoutouts at the end of every video. Over on Cameo, I can do funny videos reading lines from zombies, memes like how do we tell him, birthday wishes for friends or family, or whatever else you desire, practically anything. Of course, none of this is necessary, just watching and enjoying the videos helps me immensely and I greatly appreciate it. However, I think it's about time I start setting up additional revenue streams because Zombies' popularity is tumultuous and always goes through ups and downs. As I'm sure you've lately seen on the channel, viewership is down a lot. We go through big highs when new games release, but then during these drought periods, I need more income stability so I don't have to worry as much about it and I can focus more on improving the quality of the content. My highest quality videos are not always the ones that best please YouTube algorithms, so instead, this way I can produce my best work knowing I don't have to think as much about how well the content's going to perform. So if you'd like to support me on Patreon for exclusive content or would like a simple Cameo message, you can do so to further support me via the links below, but only if you can afford it and you actually want to help me. Don't feel like you are forced to, don't worry, I'll survive. It would just help relieve some of the pressure during inconsistent periods on the channel, so I don't have to solely rely on AdSense revenue and still maintain the sheer quantity and quality of content that I put out. Obviously, I pump out literally a boatload of content, and some of these are absolutely crazy projects over hour-long videos, so it's a lot on my plate, especially when these videos don't perform particularly well. And I've not been doing many sponsorships lately to help supplement revenue either, so it would greatly help. Thank you for any generous person once again who does kindly support the channel. It means the absolute world and will really help keep this boat afloat.